What's up, everybody? This is Urziel99, and today we're going to start out the Sisters of Eve epic arc. I made the long journey to Arnon, Planet 9, Moon 3, Sisters of Eve Bureau Station. And if you're wondering how to get here from wherever your character ends up in the world, you can go to the agency, click the drop down, choose the option Epic Arcs. Click on the first option here. It's probably going to be the only one available if you're a new player. It's called the Bloodstained Stars. There's a little description here. Rogue drones are a bit like insects, if insects were armor plated and armed with cutting lasers. And as you can see, there's several chapters within this arc. This arc will eventually take you all across Empire space in the cluster. So, as you can see, travel across New Eden to complete an epic series of missions on behalf of the Servant Sisters of Eve. On the surface, the Sisters are kind of a charity organization. They're like the I guess you could say the Eve equivalent of the Red Cross. Now, as you can see, this the green and yellow and blue on this map, that's high security space owned by one of the four major empires, the Amarr, Minmatar, Gallente, Caldari. The kind of yellowish and orange down here is kind of like their frontiers. It's like the Wild West. Sure, it may be a state in the Old West. There may be a sovereignty claim, but hard law and order is pretty touch and go. And in the deep red here, this is null security. Players live out here, pirates live out here, and not much else. Some pirate factions do control entire regions. Like the entire region of Stain is controlled by the pirate faction Sanche's Nation. If we go up here to the Great Wildlands, that's all controlled by the Thucker tribe. In Curse, you've got the Angel Cartel, etc., etc. Vinal, you've got the Garistas. Outer Ring is controlled by Outer Ring Excavations. The Syndicate's controlled by the Intaki Syndicate. These are all NPC organizations. Down at Fountain, there's a constellation that's controlled by the Serpentis Corporation. And then here in Delve, you've got a constellation controlled by the Blood Raiders. So most of the pirate factions have some kind of holdings in null security, be it of one form or another. But for our purposes, we made the trip all the way here to Arnon from Jita, which is up here. So, after taking that that trip, it was 15 jumps through Stargates. We are now here to begin the missions. So let's begin, shall we? A beacon beckons. I ask for help and they send me a Capsuleer, aren't you? You are a Capsuleer, aren't you? An immortal pilot who subverts the rules of life and death, who shapes the fates of empires? You'll have to excuse my skepticism. I work with a humanitarian organization, the Sisters of Eve. I've seen your kind hasten the death of millions every day. You expect me to believe that you're different? To prove yourselves, your actions will have to do the talking. We just received a distress call from a ship called the Damsel, and you're the closest aid available right now. Get out there and save some lives. Prove to me you're not just another murderous liar with a god complex. With all the power at your disposal, you certainly could be a force for good, and one thing is for certain. Good is in dire need of allies these days. So, we're receiving a distress beacon from an adjacent system. Of course, Epic Arcs tend to pay a little bit more, but this is a level 1 Epic Arc. But it's still fairly decent money. Now, unlike standard missions, normal missions will, once they're offered to you, they will expire after 1 week. They'll just fall off. You'll lose standing with the agent. You couldn't be asked to say yes or no. Epic Arc missions stay in your mission log indefinitely. So if you have to, if real life has taken a hold and you got stuff to do, you can come back even a month later and you can pick up the Epic Arc right where you left off. Not a big deal. Of course, as you can see, we're in a new people's space, so the gate designs have changed. And this is an interesting little constellation. There's actually a constellation in Genesis that Concord actually owns. Not a lot of activity out here. It's always pretty quiet in this area. But some people do set up shop here, as you can see by the citadels in the overview. As you can see, there's different iconography around the gates. I'll take a second and we'll focus in on that. Now this is of course a Marian gate design. You can see this is of course Concord. This is the banner of Concord, since they own the system and the system it's going to. The system it's going to is a 0.7 system, and the red triangles mean that there have been player kills in this area. So it's kind of an early warning system. Now we're in the right system, so let's warp to the mission location. Okay. Looks like there was some kind of throwdown here. A Revelation and a Naglfar. Those are both Dreadnought class capital ships. There's the Damsel. was, operative word was, a Tempest class Minmatar battleship. Says that we've done, so I guess we're going home.
Warp drive active. I cannot set a waypoint to the same location twice.
I guess they just wanted me to see what's left of it. So, pretty easy mission. Of course, it's just a prelude of things to come.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, destroyers don't go as fast as frigates, but they're still pretty quick. If you really want to go fast from place to place, there's a gift ship called the Leopard that had a warp speed. It's a shuttle, so it's, you know, only has a 10 M3 cargo hold, can't mount anything, and has pitiable health, but it could warp at like 12 AU a second. It was ridiculously fast.
Warp drive active.
No. Excuse me.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
It seems Concord was faster to respond, but your backup was definitely appreciated. There were a handful of survivors picked up. They've been taken to various care facilities in the area, wherever vacancies could be found. We've got some interesting information out of your trip. It seems no one fired on the damsel. Something must have happened inside the ship. We'd like you to track those survivors down. See if you can get any information about the ship's path, pilot, or cargo. We need to know what caused this disaster. Concord is the first logical step. I've gotten in touch with Concord agent Chavis Tack, who may have information for you. His location is being uploaded to your Neocom. He's currently acting as an OR agent. See if you can find a piece of, go see if you can find a piece of this puzzle. Okay. So this is a report to agent deal. This agent, however, is unique. The vast majority of agents you'll interact with within New Eden are, like the Sister Alitura back there, safely ensconced in a station. Some, however, especially those you encounter during epic arcs, tend to be in space. This particular one, this Concord agent, Jevis Tak, is apparently in an Epithal, which is a Galente industrial ship, in open space in the TAR system.
Warp drive active.
So we are going to hasten ourselves to him and see what he has to say for himself. Now there are a few lore reasons about the creation of Concord, but I won't get into too much of it, but think of it as a United Nations type of deal, where there's representatives from every major government within Concord. And their job is to ensure the empires don't go to war. And they primarily do that by ensuring that there's a technological
Warp
parity.
drive active.
So, for example, there's a directive that when Concord was formed at the Convention of Ulai, which is the capital system for Concord, one of the directives was that no empire can have an exclusive province on any technology. So that's why for example, whenever a new ship comes out, there's Mr. Tak, he's got a beacon in space.
Warp drive active.
Whenever a new technology comes out, for example, whenever the developers release a new ship, they release one for all 4 races, and that's their lore justification for that. Because even if a certain race designed, say, an item, it's still imperative on them to share the technology, because Concord will make them. Okay, so when you're dealing with an agent in space, you click on his ship, as you can see here, and you click Start Conversation. Yeah, I picked up the crew that outlived that explosion. Pretty massive, whatever it was. I'll see if I can track down the facilities they were sent to, if you can do me a favor. A bunch of pirates have been scavenging the explosion site. Go and take them out for me. It shouldn't be too much trouble for a capsuleer, and you might even find some extra information. Hell, you can probably get it done in the time I'll need to look the rest of this data. Damn legacy systems. Interestingly enough,
Warp drive active.
we get to go back to the explosion site and deal with scavengers. Of course, with 2 detonated capital ships on the field, I mean, that's got to be prime pickings for salvagers. Apparently I didn't... great. Apparently I gotta warp back to him, because it's not letting me accept
Warp
remotely.
drive active.
So we get to warp back. Yay.
Warp drive active.
It's like, I don't know why it's so particular about distance. It's like you're in a modern spaceship. We have these things called communication systems. Making you get up close makes it feels like you're passing notes through the vacuum or something. Okay. Let's see
Warp
who's
drive active.
disturbing the crash site. Okay. Corpy followers. Ah, Blood Raiders. Yeah, I'm just using single guns. I'm not gonna group them all because it'd be a waste of ammo. Speaking of wasting ammo. Strange bit of tech in your cargo. Bring it to me. Oh. I magically picked up a data core. Normally this kind of mission critical stuff would appear in a separate cargo container, but I think enough people were getting griefed by people running up and stealing their mission critical loot that CCP finally just said, you know what, screw that.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Come on, come on. Must have been something the pirates salvaged. Okay. Ah, you're done. Good timing. Okay, I found your first guy, but it looks like he's already shipped out again. What a fighter, huh? He's down in the crew manifest as Red, and his convoy has him listed under the same handle, so there you go. Giving you coordinates to intercept the convoy now. You should be able to catch them before they get too far. Quick, though, I'm worried that they don't have enough security to deal with the number of pirates, where they're headed. They might need your help. Okay. Sure, I'll go find Red.
Warp drive active.
Ah, more Blood Raiders. How interesting. Corpy Raider. Interesting. You get all the guns. Congratulations. Okay. I see lots of Blood Raider ships. I do not, however, see this convoy. I do see some loot on the field. Oh, there's Red. This is the corpse of a man wearing a red shirt. It looks like he was a pretty tough guy just a few hours ago. Crap. Well, the red shirt lived up to his name.
Warp drive active.
Guess we'll warp back to an agent, give him the bad news. It looks like he was spaced. Dead, is he? Figures. I'll keep the investigation open, but unless something changes, there's little Concord can do. Just got a message from Sister Alatura. I sent her that weird data core you found at the site. Says they weren't able to decipher it. Still, she's very interested in consulting with you, so go do what she wishes. The sisters are good people. Okay.
Warp drive active.
So we'll head back to Arnon, and then I think we're going to close out this video. The Sisters arc is huge, and if you don't section it out, I mean, you could literally take like 10 hours straight to do the entire thing. Especially if you loot and salvage everything.
Warp drive active.
And there's a lot of, like at the conclusion of every chapter, you end up going back to Arnon, so that's part of the reason there's so many different segments of this arc. But it's easy money for new players, so. Plus it lets them travel around
drive active.
See what all the other races are about.
Warp drive active.
Alright, we'll dock this up.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Oh well, I'm still gonna park it here for now. I gotta go back out there and accept that mission, because reasons. Want to buy auto accept, but anyway, that'll do it for this episode. I'm Merzio99, and I'll see you next time.